Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Minh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. General Secretary and President Tô Lâm pay state visit to Mongolia. Preparation for Vietnam-Laos border defense friendship exchange inspected. World Peace Council lauds Vietnam's human rights policy. At the invitation of Mongolian President U Khanin Khusharashuk, General Secretary and President Tô Lâm is paying a state visit to Mongolia from September the 30th to October the 1st, 2024.
President Khusharashuk greeted President Tô Lâm at the arrival point with the participation of officials from both Vietnam and Mongolia, as well as foreign ambassadors and heads of diplomatic missions in Mongolia. General Secretary and President Tô Lâm signed the Guest of Honor book at the State Palace of Mongolia, noting that Vietnam and Mongolia have passed 70 years of partnership with significant achievements in development cooperation. Both leaders declared the elevation of bilateral relations to a comprehensive partnership, marking a new era of substantial, effective, and long-term cooperation aimed at improving the quality of life and happiness for the people of both countries. Following the official welcoming ceremony, the two leaders held formal talks. President Khusharashuk warmly welcomed General Secretary and President Tô Lâm and the high-level Vietnamese delegation, calling the visit historic and essential for boosting Vietnam-Mongolia relations. With great trust, sincerity, and openness, both leaders expressed satisfaction with the robust and effective growth of their traditional friendship. They discussed major directions and measures to implement high-level agreements, with defense and security cooperation being key pillars in elevating bilateral relations to match the new framework and current global dynamics. Both sides also agreed to foster practical and effective economic cooperation, maintaining bilateral economic mechanisms such as the Intergovernmental Committee on Economic, Trade, Scientific and Technical Cooperation, and enhancing trade promotion efforts. These initiatives will help strengthen business ties, increase bilateral trade, and facilitate access to each other's markets by promoting information sharing mechanisms and policies on import and export. The two countries' senior leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in research and development of high-tech science, digital technology, innovation, artificial intelligence technology, and animal husbandry, while together coming up with solutions to remove difficulties and challenges in logistics, transportation, and exchanging experience to effectively implement science cooperation agreements in the fields of road, rail, maritime transport, and aviation. The two leaders discussed the world and regional situations. They agreed to further strengthen cooperation, regularly exchange on regional security and political issues, and international situation of mutual concern. They affirmed the importance of ensuring peace, security, safety, and freedom of navigation and aviation in the EC, internationally known as South China Sea, maintaining a peaceful, stable environment, legal order, and resolving disputes at sea by peaceful means, while ensuring the legitimate rights and interests of countries in accordance with international law, including UNCLOS 1982. At the end of the talks, General Secretary and President Tô Lâm and the President of Mongolia issued a joint statement on the establishment of the comprehensive partnership with a view to enhancing mutual trust and cooperation between the two countries in all fields in a deeper, more substantial, effective and comprehensive manner. The state visit to Mongolia by General Secretary and President Tô Lâm aims to further affirm Vietnam's foreign policy line of independence, self-reliance, multilateralization, and diversification of international relations, and comprehensive and extensive international integration. It also demonstrates that the party and state of Vietnam give priority to the traditional friendship between Vietnam and Mongolia and expect to promote the relations with Mongolia in a deep, substantive and effective manner.
On September the 30th, at the government office, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính received Nick Clegg, President of Global Affairs at Meta, USA, a large multinational technology corporation in the world, developing and doing business on online platforms and applications such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
Welcoming the President of Global Affairs at Meta to Vietnam, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that the visit is significant, coming at a time when both countries celebrating the first anniversary of the establishment of the Vietnam-US Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. The President of Global Affairs at Meta thanked Prime Minister Chính for taking the time to receive the delegation and highly appreciated the investment and business environment in Vietnam, especially the government in removing obstacles and creating conditions for business development. He also said that since operating in Vietnam in 2015, Meta has coordinated with Vietnamese ministries and sectors to implement many cooperation projects in digital economy and innovation. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Chính asked the firm to keep collaborating with Vietnamese agencies and partners, especially the Vietnam National Innovation Center, to promote cooperation in science, technology, education, training, innovation, AI, and Internet of Things (IoT), and help local businesses, organizations, and individuals to engage in the value chain, along with online platforms and apps of Meta.
With the theme Solidarity, Innovation, Creativity, Determined to Win, on September the 30th, the Military Logistic Academy held a conference to review its Determined to Win emulation movement in the 2019-2024 period. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, addressed the event.
Over the past 5 years, the Determined to Win emulation movement of the Academy has seen many changes, contributing significantly to improving the quality of education and training. Through the emulation movement, the Academy's officers and instructors have focused on innovating the contents, programs, and training processes, closely following the development of military art and the logistics, engineering, and military finance sectors. Speaking at the event, General Quyết requested the Academy to continue improving the quality of education and training, innovate training methods and approaches in a modern direction, and focus on fostering skills and practical capacity for learners.
On September the 30th, in Mộc Châu District, Sơn La Province, the Ministry of National Defense Mission, led by its Deputy Minister, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, inspected the preparations for the second Vietnam-Laos Border Defense Friendship Exchange. So far, the preparations have been properly made. As planned, the event will take place on October the 22nd and the 23rd in Sơn La Province of Vietnam and Hủa Phan Province of Laos.
The highlight of the exchange is a gala program on party and political work between young officers of the two militaries. This program will be broadcast live on VTV1 channel on October the 22nd. Deputy Minister Chiến praised the agencies, units and localities for their efforts, responsibility and coordination. He urged them to soon complete their assigned task, making the exchange a success, contributing to strengthening the defense cooperation between the two countries and building the Vietnam-Laos border to be increasingly friendly, stable, cooperative and prosperous.
Coming up next, World Peace Council lauds Vietnam's human rights policy. Cruise ship brings nearly 3,500 international passengers to Hạ Long. Recently, as part of its 57th regular session, the UN Human Rights Council adopted the outcomes of the Universal Periodic Review's fourth cycle for Vietnam. The event drew around 90 representatives from countries, international and non-governmental organizations, which have consultative status to the UN Economic and Social Council, including Vietnam NGOs.
World Peace Council Executive Secretary Iraklis Tafsadiris commended Vietnam's consistent policy on human rights protection and promotion.
We are certain and firm in our belief that Vietnam, while approaching its 80th anniversary of independence and the 50th anniversary next year of the liberation of Saigon and the unification of the country, that the human rights and the defense of human rights, first of all, the rights to peace and the rights to welfare, to well-being, to improvement day by day of the living conditions of the Vietnamese people, defeating the extreme poverty in the past and the poverty for the Vietnamese people to choose their path of development and their improvement day by day, year by year of their records. And that's why we are here, in order to support and to express our solidarity to the brave Vietnamese people, and wish also future steps in the development for the welfare of the Vietnamese people.
Vietnam informed the Human Rights Council of its decision to accept 271 out of 320 recommendations made by countries during its report presentation in May 2024, recording a rate of 84.7%, the highest in 4 cycles. Vietnam reaffirmed its commitment and consistent policy on protecting and promoting human rights and its respect for the UPR mechanism and the Human Rights Council.
In recent days, in many countries, overseas Vietnamese have organized a series of activities in support of Typhoon Yagi's victims in Vietnam. Those activities have demonstrated the solidarity of the Vietnamese people, especially in times of difficulty and hardship.
On September the 28th and the 29th in Paris, France, a charity sale took place to raise funds to support natural disaster-hit victims in Vietnam. Vietnamese restaurants and eateries served diverse culinary space with Vietnamese traditional dishes. On the first days of the event alone, an amount of $3,900 has been raised. A representative of the Vietnamese Business Association in France said that they are ready to take responsibility for transferring all the money raised in this activity directly to the Vietnam Fatherland Front. Meanwhile, in the Republic of Korea, on September the 28th, the Vietnamese Embassy in Seoul, in coordination with the Business Association of Vietnamese in Korea, organized a ceremony to receive donations to the typhoon-affected victims. As of September the 22nd, Korean organizations, businesses and Vietnamese associations have pledged the donation of $855,000. Notably, SK Group and LG Group donated $300,000 and $250,000 respectively through Copion organization.
On September the 30th, Ha Long International Cruise Port received Italian flag Costa Serena, carrying 3,477 international tourists and more than 1,000 crew members. The cruise ship Costa Serena has docked in Vietnam for several times. However, this is the first visit by the cruiser to Ha Long City. The cruiser is considered one of the largest international cruise ships to visit Ha Long this year, marking an important milestone for the local tourism industry.
The passengers abroad are primarily from Chinese-speaking countries and regions. During their stay, they are set to explore Ha Long Bay, as well as the city's downtown area and tourist attractions. Costa Serena is scheduled to depart at 6 p.m. on the same day and expected to return for more visits on October the 14th, October the 18th, and November the 4th and the 8th. According to Quảng Ninh Department of Tourism, Ha Long anticipates hosting around 70,000 tourists abroad, between 60 and 70 cruise ships this year, with the year-end period expected to be the peak season. Typically, the city experiences bustling cruise tourism at the year-end.
This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.